side of it that it pumps the nutrient up through these things. It does it 3 times a day at 7 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 7 o'clock. It pumps for 30 minutes in these things. And these peppers I put in the same time as I put in those tomato plants. About 2, roughly, I don't have an exact count, but it's about 2 months ago. So these things, we've already been picking peppers off of them, and they're going to grow a lot bigger than this. Some of them I have strings. You can't see the strings too well. But this is 8 buckets, and they all drain out this pipe down into here. They're not even glued together. I didn't glue that pipe together. I don't need to glue it. It's not holding any pressure. It's just running the water out of it. These are fun to play around with. I love them. They're great. They work fantastic. Now, another idea for you wouldn't think about a container gardening as being next to a sidewalk in your house. But these right here are something I really love. These are called pineapple sages. And the reason they're growing even, and they weren't killed off by the winter, is because I've got the house here which shields the heat. So you can have a really cold winter, but if you put that plant next to the house, like if you got a sidewalk like this, oh, that's an excellent growing thing. You know what I did? I just kept the regular dirt and I put in about that much mushroom compost on the top of it, and plants just grew like gangbusters. And a lot of these are mint. You know, mint's invasive. I always have to keep picking the mint and feeding it to the chickens. But here's my planter boxes. I've got 8 planter boxes that are 32 feet long. And what I did, I mixed about 1/3 mushroom compost, and I went down here to Mills River. There's a guy that works at a company, Waste Stream Innovations, and he sells basically truckloads of compost that he makes. It's 25 bucks a yard, which is really cheap. So I mixed about 2/3 of his compost with mushroom compost, and I can't hardly kill my plants. I mean, those things grow just incredibly. And here we've got lettuces, and there is onions that we have, basil. We've got all kinds of things growing. Now these, you're looking at these and wondering about these things. Let me show you a more close-up shot. This is spinach. Now the reason I let the spinach go to seed is because these spinach lived through last winter. And to me, that was a big deal. I thought, boy, those spinaches lived, and they were unprotected. I did not put down cloth, shade, any of that shade cloth or whatever, the protective stuff. No, they dealt with the open weather. And I was so impressed by those spinaches that I said, I'm going to let them run their full life cycle. Now, a lot of your plants, I want to suggest to you that you let to grow their full life cycle and get to know that plant. You know, what I do is I'll shake the plant a little bit. I don't try to collect the seed because it's too small. I don't have good eyes. So, but I shake the plant a little bit and let the seeds fall down, and it reseeds itself. At least that's my theory. I haven't got any new super spinaches yet, but I hope to. I hope to. So we have different lettuces here, and this is collards. I love collards. Collards is really healthy for you. Now here's another view. This is raised beds in a different type of way. I put sweet potatoes in here, and I have a groundhog that lives on my property, and I live in harmony with nature. I don't wantonly go and want to kill it like a lot of these local people. They'll just blow the thing away without even thinking about it. I don't do that. So what I did, it was munching on a little bit of the corners, and it wasn't that big of a deal. So I built this framework. This is made out of PVC, and then I had a little deer net that's black from deer fencing that I already had. And I threw that over it, and I didn't even really, there's holes in it, the thing could get in if it wanted. But if you look here, I got so much clover here. Wildlife prefers clover. He will stay out of your garden. The bunnies and the groundhogs will stay out of your garden if you got lots of clover for them to eat. No joke, that's true. So I got tons of clover here, and one day after I put this up, he quit bothering my stuff. I mean, he could easily run in there if he wanted to bad enough, but he left me alone. And if you know anything about sweet potato, it just instantly takes over every spot that it grows. And in another month, this will be solid green. These I haven't planted out yet. I've been a little slow. You know, I work a real job, and so it takes me a little time around the garden. Here's my idea of getting around the total rain we've been getting these summers. So I made raised beds in the garden. As you can see, all these are raised beds, similar to the way the farmers do around here, except it's no plastic. And I manually did this with my tractor, and then in between the rows, weeding was working me so much to death that I decided I was just going to have to either till or plant a cover crop and mow. One of the two, because I just couldn't keep paying a guy to go on the back of her tiller, which she loaned me last year, and pay him all day to try to till my garden. I couldn't do that anymore. So here's peppers growing in pots. They do quite nicely, as you can see. Here's my tomatoes. I failed to get them into cages while they were young. Big mistake. I also should not have let them grow 4 branches. If I had have put them in the tomato cages first, that would have been okay. But anyway, I make some mistakes. These right here are avocado trees. Look at how nicely those are doing. And these are avocado trees right here. Here's the pineapples that Stanley gave me. And I got all kinds. This is pineapple sage. I love that herb. That's a wonderful herb. You guys should grow a lot of herbs. Herbs are for the healing of the nations. They're tremendous. Here's a better shot of the avocado trees. And now here's another idea for container gardening. It's just a little different way of thinking about something. I use railroad ties here. Next to, I have a little shed. This is my shed that I built to hold my off-the-grid batteries. And for my wind turbine, I'm the only guy in Henderson County with a wind turbine, and this is what houses the electronics of it. And so what I did, I put railroad ties here, and then I just threw down a little mushroom compost, and I planted away. And look how good those flowers do. Now you're probably thinking, flowers, what a waste. Why would you plant flowers? You should have vegetables. But listen here to something I want to teach you. Flowers will attract the beneficial insects that will kill the bad bugs that are going to harm your garden. So you want all kinds of different flowers. And so I've got tons of different kinds of flowers out here. Here's another shot of it, a different way. And you can see the railroad ties there. And here's going around the corner. I think this is just one of the prettiest flowers. And I don't even remember hardly. I got it written down somewhere what that is, but I can't even hardly remember. But it's just beautiful. You know, you think about God's love for everybody here when you look at things like that. Well, that's the end. If you guys would like, we have a video of how to make that potting soil. It's pretty short, it's about 10 minutes. And then we could have maybe 5 minutes of question and answer after that. Would you like to do that? So let's take a 5-minute break. We'll come back at noon, and then we'll be done at 12:15.